In this tactical first-person shooter, you play as the counter-terrorist group Epsilon, which is operating somewhere in Eastern Europe combating local militias. Developed and published by Epsilon LLC and released on October 1st, 2015, Epsilon is currently $7.99 and is in early access on the Steam store. Right off the bat, you can tell it's a more or less in a modern setting. The guns look like modern weaponry that you can probably find in the military. The armaments are noticeably different and even change the way they look based on the attachments that you put on them. The character models in this game are basically clones of one another. Even the female character looks like the male, which is very bizarre considering the fact that the cutscenes and even the portraits portray them to look different. In other words, the character models don't add up. Alongside the weaponry and characters, there's also a planning screen giving you the sense that you are looking at a computer or a mobile device as you plan your next move. The two maps are very similar, yet different. One is in a headquarters of sorts and is filled with enemies and upper levels. In one hand, as you are exploring, there are open areas that leave you exposed to gunfire, and on the other hand, there are many offices that are very isolated and made me feel like I was a cow lining up to get slaughtered. The other map is in an icy underground facility. In this map, instead of having an upper level, there's a descent to be made. This map is not as open as the headquarters, but there are very narrow passageways and points of entry that give you the feeling of not knowing where your enemies are coming from. The AI is basic in design. There are 2 or 3 character models dressed up in a green commando type outfit. The animations need a lot of work. Weapons phase through walls, the reloading animation is off, and the leaning function is very off. It's ultimately not very useful as it's very hard to lean from a corner without your guy shoving his gun into his face. The game's music keeps a serious tone, but is nothing unique. The weapon sounds are pretty much all the same. Even when I put a suppressor attachment on my weapon, it sounds the same as if I had no suppressor. There's hardly any voiceover work at all. When you breach a door, the explosive noise is there, but doesn't have the oomph that you thought you would hear. It sounded like a firecracker went off, not a military-grade explosive. There are trip lasers placed around the map that alert the enemy to your position. Sometimes I would be randomly walking around, and I would hear a beep as if an alarm went off, but I swear there were no trip lasers there. Either I was going crazy, or the audio cues were off, and I would put my money on the latter. The gameplay is simple. Plan and execute. When you first start the mission, you are greeted by a map. From there, you've got some options. You can place a sniper to eliminate unsuspecting enemies. You can view security cameras so that you can survey the area and mark targets, displaying them on your map. On the map as well is your primary objective, so you know where they are at. There is also a map key, so you know what the image means. Lastly, you can mark pathways for your squad to follow, so that at the press of a button, they will follow the determined path you have set up. At this point, you can tackle the objectives however you want. You can follow your plan, or you can totally forget about it. You also have total control of your squad during the mission. Follow the designated path if you picked one, have your squad stack up and breach doors. You can even have your squad be fodder and send them directly into the line of fire. The choice is yours. To finish the mission, you must complete the objectives in their entirety. Some of the objectives can be as easy as planting a bomb and as hard as rescuing hostages. The order in which you do them is up to you. There is only one difficulty at this time, moderate, and the AI for moderate can be punishing, as they can, at times, end your life with one shot. As of now, there is very low replay value. Not that many guns, I'd say around 10, 2 maps, 1 difficulty, and 2 game modes. One being the story mode and the other being elimination, which is not a whole lot to go on. This game could be finished in an hour in story mode, with maybe another hour for elimination, and that's about it. If you want to get more, you could of course try out the different guns and new tactics, but by that point it all gets repetitive. In conclusion, this game definitely has the potential to be good. From its gameplay to its graphics, I could see it bloom into something more, but it needs work. I must admit after playing it for a bit that the game grew on me. I really did like planning for my missions, and it was great knowing that I could carry out the objectives in any form I wanted to. The operations didn't always turn out so good because the AI has godlike aim. The AI hit detection system felt really inconsistent. At times they barely take away any of your health, then others they just one-shot kill you. It was really frustrating, to the point where I didn't even feel like playing. I liked having the squad at my command, as they can really hold their own. I really like the fact that your squad doesn't just rush the door when you tell them to breach a door. They go in one by one as they clear the area. It still needs work, but it's these types of gameplay elements that really show the game's potential. Where this game really needs fixing is its glitches and bugs. Keep in mind that this game is in early access and it will change as time goes by. But as of right now, the game is just too short, lacking in content, and riddled with problems. Overall, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Remember to check out KeenGamer on YouTube for more daily gaming videos, reviews, and giveaways. And visit our website at KeenGamer.com for all the latest news. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment to be a part of our gaming community. Stay keen, KeenGamers!